Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? Today, I'm Efra Nida Ul Haq. I will explain about syntax and about verb phrase. Have you ever heard about syntax? Okay. Syntax is the part of linguistics that studies the structure and formation of sentences. It explains how words and phrases are arranged to form correct sentences. Or in other words, syntax is the study of how words are put together to build phrase, then how phrases are put together to build clauses, and how clauses are put together to build sentences. Okay, next slide is about how to apply syntax in sentences. The first, a sentences should have a subject and verb. Second, the subject should come first, followed by the verb. Third, describing words like adjective and adverb should be positioned before the words they describe. Fourth, object follow the subject and verb in a sentence. If there is a direct object and an indirect object, the indirect object comes after the verb, and the direct object follows the indirect object. And last, clauses. Irrespective of whether they are dependent clause or independent clause, must have a subject and a verb. Phrases, on the other hand, do not require a subject. Okay, move to the next slide. The next slide is about verb phrase, our main discussion today. Okay, verb phrase. Verb phrase is a group of words that can act as a verb in a sentence. By the definition, a verb phrase is a group of words that work as a verb. Basically, verb phrases are divided into two parts. The first is helping verbs. What are helping verbs? Okay, well, let's go into the example of sentences. For example, there is the sentence, I have eaten the watermelon. In this sentence, the helping verbs are have, while eaten is a main verb. Helping verbs serve to tell the type of tenses used as well as adding meaning. Helping verbs are divided into two parts. Okay, can you guess, guys? Okay, the first is auxiliary verbs, such to be, is, are, and then to have, has, had, to do, does, did. And the second is modal verbs, can, could, may, might, will, and should. Okay, the second is the main verbs. Well, those were some helping verbs. So, what about main verbs? Main verbs are words that explain helping verbs. So, here are examples of main verbs that you can use. Eat, study, play, read, and others. Can you give me example of main verbs, guys? Okay, I have explained about the parts of the verb phrase before. Now, we will discuss the formula of verb phrase. Okay. The first is main verb only. Example of these patterns is She stayed at home during the holidays. I went to the studio for a photo shoot. Then the next is auxiliary verb and main verb. Example, I knew those mean kids were talking about the new student behind her back. Okay, the verb is were. Then they were visiting a friend who was sick. The auxiliary verb is were and the main verb is visiting. And the third is modal plus main verb. Example, they will win the match because they have practiced hard. And then you should listen to my advice. Should is the modal and main verb is listen. And the fourth is modal plus auxiliary verb and main verb. Example, you will win the match if you work harder. He might have brought more food. Might is modal, auxiliary verb is have, and brought is main verb. The last is exercise. The first is you should make appointment with a liar soon. The pattern of the verb phrase is okay. Yes. The pattern is modal plus main verb. Should is modal and make is main verb. The second is she might eat the cake. Might is modal and eat is verb, main verb. So this is modal plus main verb. Okay, that's all from me. Sorry if there are any mistake. Thank you for your attention. See you next time and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.